Hello and welcome to Halong Bay.
Going to the beach.
We just finished the Hajang Loop in the last video, so we were in desperate need of some rest and relaxation.
That's the hotel we're staying in.
It seemed like we were in the quieter part of town, and the beach itself was actually pretty empty, but we saw this really cool hotel that had its own private island, and there were also these kites flying in the sky. Most of the time we just ended up walking around our hotel instead of visiting places like Cat Ba, but it was still nice to see the suburbs of a Vietnamese city.
Heading back to the hotel now.
Our hotel had a gym, a swimming pool, and I definitely made the most of it. The next day I took a sleeper bus from Halong Bay to Da Nang, and the total duration was 13 hours. Sleeper bus itself was surprisingly pleasant, comfortable, and I got a good night's sleep. Before finally arriving on the sunny shores of Da Nang. I was staying right near the beach, so I decided to walk all the way along. One thing I really enjoyed seeing were all the tall skyscrapers of new hotels getting developed around the area.
My plan is to go over there this week at some point.
All vibes that we have going on here. There's like palm trees, and then there's these other trees here. It feels very tropical. Also, they have some like pink festival thing going on over there.
I guess they're setting up just now, but yeah, maybe we'll see later on.
I love these giant birdhouses that they had developed and put up right near the beach. And while I was walking along, I realised I'd come at the perfect time for the Da Nang Flower Show. These were beautifully and professionally curated, and I really loved what they had done with all the colours. There was also this theme park in the middle of the city, which looked really cool, but I decided not to go. Finally, I met up with Blair and Emma for lunch, and we decided to go for a long stroll back across the beach. It was one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever been to. There were loads of activities going on, like paragliding, banana boats, jet skis. The sand and water were so clean.
So it's my second full day in Da Nang, and I'm at the pagoda and the giant statue.
It was about a 20-minute ride from the main city to the Lady Buddha and pagoda area.
There's tons of these statues on both sides, all depicting different things.
I was so glad to see that there was a lot of wildlife. And even though it was sweltering hot, I was still enchanted by the temples themselves.
The statue's pretty big, huh?
So I was thinking about hiring a bike here, but instead I just got a grab bike. It was like a taxi, but on a bike to here. It was only about 10 minutes. And I'm just gonna walk around here. That's the plan. But yeah, I love this actually. This place is so nice.
The displays they had were so pretty, like these fans that were spinning around. And then I finally made it to the backside of the Lady Buddha herself, and she was huge. There's also a really good view of the city right here. Next, I took a look at another impressive pagoda. Before taking in a stunning view of the city. There were a bunch of boats in the water. I think some of them were fishing boats, but there was also some tourist boats too. This little balcony bit actually reminds me of Attack of the Clones. Just a scene straight out of Naboo.
It's so peaceful and quiet here. Been on a little half-an-hour detour to try and get up the mountain, but unfortunately the gate's locked. I'm sweating so bad.
At least I got to take in some of the lovely sights on the way up. And then I took a grab bike back down to the city. I love seeing how many boats there were docked here by the beach. It was an impressive amount. On to the third day now, and I headed straight for the Marble Mountains. This was a much quieter area than yesterday, which I was really glad about.
So there's some mountains here, but there's also mountains over that side there and there too. So we're gonna wing it and see which way we have to go.
Interestingly, there was a lot of marble statue carving shops, workmen in the area. I guess it's related to the mountains themselves. Anyway, next I started to trek up the mountains themselves.
And that's our first stop. It's called the River Watching Tower. I'm so sweaty right now. View's worth it. I'm glad I came in the afternoon. I definitely recommend not coming in at the peak of the day.
The view from the top was so good, I could see the entire city. And I also ended up stumbling across this little quiet hidden area. It was like a Zen garden. It was so peaceful, and it seemed like there was no one here. One other key feature of the Marble Mountains is the caves. And these caves were actually places of worship. They had statues inside, and they also had incense and things like that.
So this is the way to the highest peak, but no one else seems to be coming this way. Which makes me unsure if the view is going to be worth it, but we'll see.
The trek up was honestly really difficult. Da Nang is one of the hottest places I've been to so far on my trip, but it turns out the view was actually really worth it. I got an even better view, and I got to see the other side of the city too, along the coast. And the water is so cool.
What a view.
I also got a good glimpse of where I went to yesterday with Lady Buddha. She was really far away. Next, I walked to the other side of the Marble Mountains, and they had even more pagodas hidden deep within the forests.
This feels like walking straight out of something in Indiana Jones. It's like this temple-like structure.
Next, I headed to the other side of the city for sunset. This definitely ended up being my favorite bridge in the entire city.
It's so pretty out here. So I'm actually opposite the Golden Bay Hotel, and they have like a miniature area. Well, I'm gonna show you. That's right. Statue of Liberty. I believe this is Athens. Pyramids of Giza. Tower d'Eiffel. Windmill from Amsterdam, maybe?
And I took in one final view of the bridge before heading home. So now it was my final night in Da Nang, and I was sad to be going because honestly it is one of my favourite cities I've been to. I was totally impressed with how modern the entire city was. I mean, just look at these colourful buildings and these stunning bridges. And I love watching these colourful tourist boats ride along the river. It's clear that development in Da Nang is going really strong, and I can't wait to see what it will look like in 5 to 10 years' time. After crossing some of the bridges and taking in the nightlife, I walked along this quiet, gentle park.
Let's drag a bridge over there. Planning to meet Emma Blair, and we're gonna watch the fire.
Just like Hanoi and other cities I've been to in Vietnam so far, I noticed how many motorbikes there were. I was really busy. And this right here is the Pink Cathedral in Da Nang, and unfortunately it was very late at night, so I didn't get to go inside. Next, I walked along some of the side alleys and saw some art. Before stopping by APEC Park. This was full of interesting sculptures and architecture. I love the style of this structure in particular. It looks like waves to me. I took one final look at this bridge over here as well as the theme park before heading over to the Dragon Bridge. So this is meant to be a fire-breathing bridge. I believe it was around 8 PM that the show was supposed to start. Emma and Blair were waiting on the other side of the bridge while we waited. And we waited. And we waited even more, but unfortunately the show was cancelled or something. So instead I went for a walk around the area. And I'm glad I did because these statues were really good finds. And I love these art lampposts. We're just around the corner from the bridge. After that, I headed to the market, Santra Night Market, and it was heaving, but they had loads of cool stuff. They even had cool artsy things like this tree, and there was also a performer, this fireman, that was a statue. I also walked through this food section, which looked really good, but unfortunately I wasn't hungry. So instead I decided to walk home and get a good night's rest before travelling to Hoi An. So thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time.